So guys, today we'll be talking about some of the questions, some easier part of questions. In my previous videos, I've already discussed about some basic information which you need to know about the GMAT, some basic information about the sections and how the questions are being asked and how to prepare for that, and what should be your steps, what you should do and what you should not do, precautions and all. So from today we'll be starting our questions. So first I've taken a word problem. So now these word problems I'll display somewhere in the screen, or if not, or if possible, I'll put them these problems in the description box so that you can refer them afterwards or while I'm explaining the question. Okay, so don't copy the questions. I'll provide you the questions in some or the other way so that you are able to tackle all the resources and you have the resources in your hand. Okay, so first question is, company X sold 1500 units of its product for $9 each. So 1500 products are sold for $9 each and 750 units for $6 each. Okay, if the company's cost of production during each of the product was $7, what was the company's profit or loss on the sale of 2250 units? So company's cost is $7 each. So if we calculate the total cost, total selling, the total money which the company got by selling, so it would be 1500 into 9 plus 750 into 6, 0, 0, 45, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let me check if it is correct or not. So it's correct. So the total comes to $18,000. And the total cost, let us calculate, it would be 2250 into 7, 0, 15750. Okay, so profit of $250. Okay, that was the first question. Okay, so the next question, if no bulk purchase discount applies, what is the price of 13 oranges and 12 apples? So let us take the price of orange as X and price of apple as Y. Okay, and statement is given, another statement is given is, the price of 39 oranges and 36 apples is $111. So 39x plus 36y is 111. And the price of 3 oranges and 2 apples is $7. We have to calculate the price of 13 oranges and 12 apples. Okay, so now the options given are, statement 1 alone is sufficient but statement 2 alone is not sufficient to answer the question asked. Second option given is, statement 2 alone is sufficient but statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer the question asked. Third is, both statements 1 and 2 together are sufficient to answer the question, but neither statement alone is sufficient to answer this question. Fourth option is, each statement alone is sufficient to answer the question. Last option given is, statement 1 and 2 together are not sufficient to answer the question asked, and additional data specific to the problem are needed. So we have to calculate this, okay? If you look at this statement closely, if we divide by 3 both sides, it would be 13x plus 12y equals to 37. So isn't this the same thing which we need? Isn't this the same thing asked in the question, this thing? Aren't these two things same? So using only the first statement, we have calculated our answer. We don't need to use the second statement. It is of no use. So statement 1 is alone sufficient to answer this question, but statement 2 alone is not sufficient. So that would be the answer. So now next question is an inference question. You are given a paragraph and you need to take out the inference from that paragraph. Okay, so I'll not be writing down the paragraph completely on the board. I'll be providing the paragraph down in the description, or somewhere I'll put in this video only. I'll edit somewhere and put the paragraph photo. Okay, so I'll be reading the paragraph now. Please listen to it carefully. Recently developed tourism infrastructure, including 10-story hotels and neon-lit discos, is obscuring the moonlight, disorienting the female turtles as they seek out beaches to lay their eggs. Often the confusion leads them to assume that the hotel pools are the sea, and they end up laying their eggs in the pool flower beds. Once the egg hatch, the hatchlings are unable to find their way to the sea and die. The stringent building regulations that protected the turtles in the past are being flouted openly by organized criminals who either bribe or terrorize officials, turning into a blind eye. Okay? So now the question is, which of the following can be inferred from the paragraph above? Next is the option 1 given is, scarcity of turtles result in ecological imbalance of sea. So there is not written anything about scarcity of turtles. Second is, chemicals in pool water are not safe for turtles. This could be an option. I am not sure, but let us read the further statements. Moonlight is the only source of light for turtles. No, this is not given in the paragraph. Turtles are guided by moonlight. That's not also given. Organized gangs are ignoring building restrictions. This can be the answer. So that's the answer. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so the next question is, amid the present wave of job redundancies for skilled but unemployed youth, the publication of an encouraging report on the viability of garage startup enterprises has led the federal government to set up an investment fund under its Federal Light Industry Program to provide capital for such enterprises. This plan has drawn opposition from various quarters. The critics claim that similar funds also set up under the Federal Light Industry Program that aim to stimulate small enterprises frequently end up harming other American social groups unconnected to these enterprises. The question is, which of the following best provides support for the claim made by the critics above? Option 1 is, garage enterprises in Washington state now produce almost 12% of the vehicle components previously imported from Southeast. Okay, so let's move on to the next option, which is given. The funding of the Federal Light Industry Program depends on reallocation of resources earmarked for disadvantaged groups. So I think this can be an option. This can be a correct option. So let's check it. Yes, this is the correct option. Let's move further to the next question. Next question is, the decline in the value of Europe's currency euro is proving to be a mixed blessing. The German economy in particular is booming with rising exports in everything from heavy industry to hotels and service providers. The French economy experiencing a similar phenomena with a special emphasis on defense products. However, the European Central Bank has issued its starkest warning yet that the value of the euro will decrease by at least 3% over the next 6 months. Hence, its intervention to control the depreciation of euro will become vital. The question is, the European Central Bank assumes that the German economy is performing better than the French economy. That's not correct option. The superlative performance of the German and French economies may not be enough to resurrect the sliding euro. The superlative performance of the heavy industry, the hospitality sector, service providers, and the defense sector may not be enough to resurrect the sliding euro. The exports from Germany and France are more than exports from other European countries. Only two European countries, Germany and France, are performing above the European Central Bank's benchmark's performance index. Okay, so we have to answer the European Central Bank assumes that. So the answer could be the superlative performance of the German and French economies may not be enough to resurrect the sliding euro. Okay, so I think enough of these questions for today. We'll continue more in the further videos. Stay tuned and don't worry about the questions. I'll provide them somewhere in the description. Thank you.